I would say just in general that it's probably the most unhinged Pixar movie that I've ever seen.
I was thinking about the Lithuanian 1992 bronze winning basketball team. It's kind of the purest form of Gen Z brain rot humor. Can we give 2 hurrahs to the lizard? They did not fumble the lizard.
Like, that was the most MCU moment I've ever experienced in a Pixar movie. Hello and welcome to another episode of Pinoys versus the World. My name is Chris Angkico.
My name is Harald Hyllseth.
And today we are talking about the new Pixar movie, Hoppers. We just got back from this. It's the first Thursday night, the opening Thursday night. We just got back from it, and we got some thoughts for sure.
We want to talk about it.
Yeah, we got some thoughts for sure.
It's been a while.
First off, yeah, it's been like probably
Good
two
see
months.
you,
I got to switch hands.
Yeah, I got to switch hands for that.
Yeah.
Another IRL dap for the pod listeners.
For sure. But yeah, it's been like 2 months. I think No Other Choice was our last in-person one. I might have recorded Sundance after that.
It was after.
Right before I left.
Check out the Sundance episode.
Yeah.
Shout out Sundance. Seemed like a fun time.
It was fun, yeah.
Again, hey, we'll do a debrief on another day. We'll do like a Sundance debrief. But no, yeah, check that video out. They look like they had a great time.
Yeah, it was really fun. But yeah, so did the Sundance, and then last week I was in New Orleans. It was the Complexly work retreat. So if anyone at Complexly is watching this, shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Thank you for watching. But we did a lot of fun stuff. We explored the city, had a lot of I hadn't met like a lot of my coworkers before in person, so that was really fun to get to know a lot of them and just kind of hang
in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. Yeah. Didn't really get a chance to try too many food places, unfortunately, because I think we were just kind of going back and forth everywhere. But it was really fun. We watched a couple of we're gonna have like an Eons. There's like a new Eons like kind of like spin-off show, I guess.
Okay, Eons lore drop.
Eons lore drop. There's a little bit of a spin-off show. That's all I'll say. But we got to watch a couple of those episodes in a movie theater. The finished episodes in a movie theater.
Come on. You gotta watch more stuff in movie theaters. That's awesome.
Yeah, Callie, our sound designer, and Tuna, our sound mixer masterer.
Shout out
to them.
Yeah.
They got the sound together, and it was 5.1 surround sound in the movie theater.
Oh, it's like
fucking sick.
Yo, every movie theater should be 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah, well, especially because I'm so used to just editing just the YouTube version, just like on my computer,
right?
Not doing anything like special, like with the the directional sound, because the phone's not going to support that.
Not going to support that.
But like in a movie theater with like. It's like mixed and mastered like professionally, and like it's just super cool. Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, everyone that worked on that. I mean, when it comes out, it's gonna be great. You guys deserve all the love.
Sounds like it's already getting a 5 out of 5.
It's already getting a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Getting a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, for sure.
And it will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And did some karaoke. We did some trivia.
With who?
With Hank.
With Hank.
With Hank Green. He hosted some trivia, so that was fun.
Come on.
That was really cool. So yeah, it was a fun time. So it was probably as much fun as you could probably have at a work retreat, I would say.
Incredible.
10 out of 10 would do again.
10 out of 10 would do it. I'm hearing that it might be on the edge. So if anyone from Complexity's watching, do it again. I don't even work for y'all.
Yeah.
I don't even work for y'all.
But yeah, so now we are back here trying to get back in the swing of things.
Go Hawks.
So,
that's all I got to say.
That's true. I guess since the last time we did this, the Seahawks also won the Super Bowl.
Thing.
And that was like a month ago at this point.
Which is crazy. Shout out, Mike McDonald, we love you.
We attended the parade. That's footage.
Shahid, New Orleans, we love you.
That's footage we can use. So we should put some video.
I'll send you some stuff, Jonas.
Put some photos up there. Yeah, we had a great time with that too.
When he looked at you, he was like, I feel the love. I feel the love, Seattle Seahawks, for the hometown.
Yeah. And XD got Mike McDonald's attention, my roommate XD here.
We'll throw up the videos.
Yeah, we'll throw up the videos. Because he's like pointing out, like, nice Shaquem Griffin jersey.
Ball knower.
A true ball knower. I mean, we already knew that Mike knew ball, but like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's just kind of put the nail in the coffin for that.
One of your personal heroes, Mike McDonald.
Oh, he's a great guy. Great guy.
We got to get him on the pod.
He's the biggest football nerd. I mean, what he's doing there, he's a wizard.
This is what I'm saying. I know he has a great Letterboxd top 4. Look. You could be watching this if you're one of our 41 subscribers at the current moment of recording this. You may or may not watch sports, but I mean some of them fools are very artistic people. So not just art on the field. They might be loving some cinema behind. But I would love to know his top 4. Yeah. Oh my god.
But speaking of movies, let's get into our main topic of discussion today: the new Pixar movie Hoppers.
I'm confused. How could you be cool with that?
I mean, she's gotta eat someone. So, do you still wanna?
It's weird now.
You got any cat? You got cast?
Dude, I got cast.
Okay.
I got cast.
Yeah.
Well, first we have to shout out, of course, before all else, the Insect Queen, played by Meryl Streep. Yes, the most important character in this entire movie. No, I've got some cast members here. Bobby Moynihan is a part of the project. As a King George Beaver. We're gonna get more into beavers today. John Hamm, a surprise, where we're gonna get into that in spoilers. Many surprise voices in the film. There's a lot. It's kind of a stat cast, and then there's like kind of more seasoned voice actors like throughout. So I mean, it's a great cast. Directed by Daniel Chong. I think he did the Bear Cares movie, not the Care Bears. It's like one of the
Care Bears.
Care Bears movies.
Well, let's look at.
He did a Bear adjacent movie.
We Bear Bears.
We Bear Bears.
It's a Cartoon Network movie. Apparently,
I was about to say
on the Wikipedia right now.
Shout out Mr. Chong. He's kind of in his bag with the animal movies.
He loves the animals.
He loves the animals,
and that's kind of what this movie's about.
Yeah.
So it's basically, if you haven't heard about the plot of the movie, it follows this girl named Mabel, and she really loves like this lake basically that her grandma would take her to as a kid, and there's a bunch of animals, bunch of wildlife, and then like in the present day, the mayor of this city that they live in called Beaverton.
It's a Pacific Northwest movie.
Canonically, it might be a Pacific Northwest, Beaverton, Oregon movie.
Beaverton University, Oregon State University, erasure.
Yeah.
Erasure.
Yes, seriously.
Go Beavs.
But anyways, the mayor's trying to build like a freeway over this little lake that she used to grow up in.
It's a pure circle.
And so she's trying to she inhabits basically a series of events happens, and then she inhabits a beaver, and goes around and tries to convince all the animals and the humans to save the environment, basically. So that's kind of where we'll start right there. First of all, first impressions. What did you think?
Yeah, this is my first impression. Then we're going to keep it non-spoiler for now, because we talked about, surprisingly, there are some things in spoiler talk that I think we'll really enjoy. But like we were talking about coming home, like just like 40 minutes ago from the movie theater, it's kind of the purest form of Gen Z brain rot humor, and one of the highest forms of Gen Z brain rot humor. And as kind of grandpas in the Gen Z generation, I can say that, like, especially for you, I'll take the words out of your mouth. That knee-slapping moments. Yeah. This movie is hilarious. It is a sneaky, funny movie. And in a week where I just saw Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, one of my other favorite movies of the year, hilarious film. This is a completely different kind of hilarity and comedy that only Pixar could really do. So first and foremost, the comedy is great. I love the humor. Again, the cast is great too. I got to say, I didn't know that was Bobby Moynihan, and their special kind of twist villain character. And it's not really even like a traditional twist villain. It's kind of like a twist on a twist, at least to me, and that's the way I took it, which I thought was kind of impressive. And the person who voices that character, we'll talk about later, was also a joy to have come up. Yeah, I mean, you've got a pretty stunned look on your face.
I wouldn't say, again, we'll get more into the but I don't say it's a twist villain. No, it's just kind of more of like a fun, like you can kind of see it coming.
Yeah,
but like,
it's kind of a wink in the way it plays off. No, it's a great point. Yeah. Twist villain is not the right way to talk about the villain, but I do enjoy the villain in this film. And yeah, generally, I guess like that first impression.
Maybe that is a spoiler.
Maybe that is a big spoiler.
But I would say just in general that it's probably the most unhinged Pixar movie that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, easily
in my life. There's like a moment where Mabel is in the beaver body and she finds like a beaver, like basically a horde of animals. And a thing happens that like instigates all the animals basically like doing the same thing. That's what I'll say for now. And it just took me so off guard. That was one of my knee slapping moments. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
And it's like 30 minutes into the movie. And I think that's another part of the film that's really like you said at the very top, like there's a relationship with her grandmother where obviously it's the most important adult figure in her life, doesn't have her parents as much really caring about her as a kid. So her grandma's raising her and really like relating to kind of the issues of like growing up, and she was obviously is like kind of like pegged as like a bit of an outcast character at the very start. She wants to rescue the animals, but then the adults won't let her. Classic, again, very classic Pixar. And what's even more classic Pixar is kind of this feeling that you have to have not necessarily an older character, but a mentor figure die or pass away from old age, and maybe that's like the catalyst for what the main character's journey is going to be throughout the film. This movie is probably not the biggest spoiler to say, that it doesn't really go the right way for the grandmother, but it plays into this way where it then flips it all about 30 to 40 minutes into the movie. Completely unpredictable. I think we were almost talking about this. Like I thought it kind of lulled me into a sense of like, oh, I was going to be maybe a bit more mid on the movie at the very beginning because I felt like we were just getting formulaic Pixar storytelling. But no, like you said, it is unhinged in the best way because it's that unpredictable. But it's also it's got a great like foundation of a story, and like I said, I just think it's that funny, and the character moments are incredible. And shout out the beavers and the animals in this film; they're cute as hell. Again, we got to probably talk about how this is a kids movie first and foremost. But again, one of those kids movies that feels like while there are kids elements that didn't play well, maybe with people our age, or it didn't play well with me, just like some of the jokes. For the most part, it seems like they were kind of directed towards people our age or a little bit younger than us, which I liked. And that's just people generally in their 20s right now. And a lot of the stuff that they're trying to talk about in the film, it's environmental, political. There's environmental impacts on humans and animals that are pretty interesting. I think they do a pretty gentle and in sometimes pretty epic proportions. They play out those set pieces well. So that's why I'm pretty high on the movie coming out of it. Like you said, it was a surprise in that way and a really, really happy one at that.
Yeah, I would say I am too. I mean, it's really funny where it needs to be. And I think like the dramatic moments like are pretty good, but at the same time, I feel like tonally it does like shift really fast. I would say it goes from like one of the funny, one of the more like hilarious jokes you'll ever hear, and then it just goes into a really like sad, dramatic thing, probably like right away. This is not like meant to be a dig, but it kind of reminded me of the Minecraft movie in that way.
You
where
said
it's
that.
like,
you said
it's
that.
just really, really funny. And then all of a sudden it just goes emotion sort of thing. That was kind of the sort of the brain rot.
Because not all brain rot is good. That's the thing.
Yeah, not all brain rot is good. But see, that's the thing. I think I don't want people to think that brain rot is me like demeaning the movie, but it's just very like the type of comedy that's in this movie is very unlike what you see in a Pixar movie normally, and just in any type of like kids movie, especially one that is like again tackling the themes that it is, where it's like, oh yeah, it's trying to be environmental, political, and also kind of a refined brain rot, a brain rot that you were thinking about ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite an interesting package of a movie, I would say.
I would say so too. And I mean, I'm gonna throw you a curveball right now. I mean, just to end the non-spoiler section, I think I might let's start doing ratings at the top. It's a new year. Why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5, and I'm feeling pretty good on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's funny, it's topical in a good way that I think Pixar has maybe been lacking a bit lately from its non-sequel. Like this is an original project, and I haven't really felt like a lot of their original projects that it had the possibility of being maybe in the long term more iconic than maybe we'll appreciate in the moment. But like this is day one, so we don't know the response just yet. I just think we know that we both liked it a lot, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Go see it and stick around to talk more spoilers afterwards. What do you think you're gonna give it?
I would also give it a 4 out of 5. I was pretty much. I think
because we were on the teetering end.
We were on the same wavelength. I know you were more in the 3.5 to 4 range. I was more in the 4 to 4.5 range.
Yeah. The final third really saved it for me, but
yeah. I would say just in general, I just liked it. Was just really solid the whole way through.
Let's go.
Whereas like Zootopia 2, like that was the last Disney movie that we saw. I felt like I was like, okay, like what happened? Like it was it was really good. It was really solid, but like nothing really like surprised me that much in the way that like the comedy in this movie. Again, I'll keep saying that, keep hammering home because it really surprised me.
It's so funny.
You will not if you watch this movie, you will not expect. Maybe you will now, but the type of comedy that you're gonna get from this movie. So
hey, if you've
already seen it, then you know.
Then you know. If you know, you know. If you're in your mid to late 20s and you got kids, I know some people in our age group that have kids. This is the perfect movie to take your kid to. It's like it's meant for us, but also like it's a generation that's now having families of their own. So
yeah,
a little bit on both ends. It's not as on the nose as one of the trailers we saw for Toy Story 5. We're going full tablet kid.
Yeah.
Again, it's like when are we gonna
toys versus iPads?
Toys versus iPads. It's like, but on the real, it's like when are we gonna get another project from Pixar? And it's gonna come eventually. But like they're working on Incredibles 3. It sounds like maybe, and now unconfirmed, maybe confirmed, but definitely confirmed. Toy Story 5 this year. It's nice to have them work on something original, and it was fun. It was cute. It was intense at points. And I mean the animation's nothing. Unfortunately, I think to write home about, but Pixar kind of has its style. So it's one of those animation studios I think relies a bit more on its storytelling, and I think they kind of landed it in a lot of good ways.
Yeah, I would agree. It's more about the writing and like the story for sure. Because the animation I was kind of like just kind of take it or leave it. It was there. It was there. It was cool. It was cool. But
we're coming off a crazy year for animation. American, Japanese, French, like Lithuanian, if you're talking about flow and stuff. It's just the Pixar style is not what I'm going to Pixar movies for anymore, while there are some animation studios where I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little bit of everything I need. But Pixar kind of succeeded in the way he needed to. But also,
Latvian. Flow is Latvian.
I'm sorry.
I had to fact
Lithuania. That's crazy.
I had to fact check that one real quick.
Thank you. You just saved me from a world. I really shout out
Latvia.
Shout out Latvia. I was thinking about the Lithuania 1992 bronze winning basketball team. Look up YouTube documentaries. That's a very impressive team. Shout out Lithuania and...
All right.
No, we're done. I'm done. Shout out Lithuania.
Yeah.
But no, it's...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, what are you gonna do?
No, I'm just saying the animation style in this movie. I think that the strengths of the animation definitely were the animals and the designs of like when like you're in a Hopper character design, or you can understand what they're saying. They got big expressive eyes like a human would be drawn, and when you don't and you can't understand them except through, again, we'll get into more about that in kind of spoiler talk, but how they communicate back if you don't have like an earpiece to understand the animals. Pretty cute. I did like that. They chose ways to, I think, not necessarily stretch their medium, but there was new styles of animation I enjoyed. So I will say that as well. That factors into the 4. 4 out of 5. Liked it a lot. Go see it. Go see it with your family. Go see it on your own. Why not?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it again.
Hard recommend.
Whether I go with someone else
recommend.
or not, I don't really. I'm just gonna. I gotta remember all the jokes.
Oh yeah,
they're very fun.
Bang.
But yeah, so that concludes our non-spoiler review of Hoppers.
Shout out. Spoilers ahead
after the break. And we're back with the spoilers for Hoppers. Where do you want to start?
I think we should just get into we were talking about it before the break. We should just get into the biggest spoiler, which is not really a spoiler. Dave Franco's in this. You clocked it immediately.
Yeah, I was like, that's Dave Franco.
When I said twist villain, that's kind of who I was referring to.
The Insect King.
The Insect King. King Titus, hilarious. Meryl Streep's canonical son.
Insect Queen.
Insect Queen, Meryl Streep. Subverted by a great Dave Franco performance. Super unhinged. The most unhinged I've heard Dave Franco in years. And it's low-key part of his shtick. It's a good Dave Franco shtick. He plays up a real... and like, he gives Roman Roy energy a little bit. Like, kind of in this.
A little bit.
A little bit. I mean, minus the excessive cussing and everything else that happens in Succession. But, I mean, I'm going to throw it over you because you clocked it immediately. And the Dave Franco reveal, for it, at least the voice, if you're able to, like, figure it in the moment, is just spectacular. Because he has, like, maybe the funniest line in the movie. The most disarming, non-Pixar, like, moment is him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like
shitting on Mabel's big moment,
he's like,
bro.
Nice speech. Too bad it sucked.
That
was my second knee slapper.
I'm sorry. This guy was knee slapping. We're talking. Y'all don't understand. It is not hyperbole. He was.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a wind. It was definitely a little bit of a wind up.
You were leaning. You were leaning into the empty seat.
I was leaning to the empty.
He was like, "Don't do this to me." No, I was dying.
Yeah,
I was dying.
Again, this movie is just like, the casting comedy choices are so unhinged, but I do want to take it all the way back to the to the beginning though.
Take it way back.
When Mabel gets into the beaver body, the robot beaver body, and then she finds like the beaver king. It's like they're like,
the humans are like, there's no.
First of all, like, the dam is completely it's completely dried up because the mayor's like, we're gonna build this highway, we're gonna we got the dynamite, we're gonna blow it up, and we're gonna come back tomorrow and build this highway. And she's like, no, and then she stumbles into the Beaverton University little crew,
Erasure.
Little crew that's doing the hoppers, doing the Avatar, which they say in the movie, which is like, this is like Avatar.
Yeah.
Because people, they have to get out in front of it.
There's a lot of fourth wall breaking.
A lot of fourth wall breaking
of their own universe.
And other shows, because after the Avatar, when they go to the Beaver King thing, eventually, they go and, well, first of all, they save the dam. They reconstruct the dam.
First time.
She convinces them like right away to like, we should go fix the dam so that we can all go back home.
With a beaver needle drop.
When they're all working.
Yeah.
And like they get that out of the way, which is cool. I like that they got
like the first 30 minutes.
The first 30 minutes, it's like, okay, like now what's gonna happen? And then like sort of things happen. But right when they meet the Beaver King, and it's like there's
Bobby
like a
Moynihan
mound.
himself.
There's like a mound to the Bobby Moynihan, like the mound to the throne, and you think he's going. They're all like bowing down, but they're actually just getting ready for a Zumba class, and that's just a crazy.
Hits
that's
play.
a crazy moment. I was
Time for
laughing.
Zumba.
I was laughing my ass off. They found like a toy speaker.
Yeah.
And they got like I forgot what song they rolled up on it, but then he just starts leading everyone in like a yoga, like a Zumba class.
Oh yeah, it's one of the best
insane.
needle drops.
Yeah,
for like as bad as any of the needle drops could have gone in this movie, that is by far the best. And it's also just kind of a scene where if you looked around, maybe I'm talking myself more into liking some of the more animation, like quirky animation stuff that Pixar was doing in this. But like every animal, when you are kind of in animal mode, when you're in the hopper body, have really interesting mannerisms. Like I was talking to you before, like even during the stretching scene in the Zumba class that King George was getting them all in on. There's like later scenes where like the deers are using their arms to clap, kind of like a human, or the way the kind of bear kind of moves is just kind of like a big like burly dude. You can kind of see the vision on like we're gonna treat the animals kind of like more humanoid in this way, so that it's like more jarring when it flips to the other side. But no, yeah, the mound, the giant dam, and then like how the dam pays off in the end, like that's what saves the city. Like biggest spoilers, city's about to get fucking burned down. If that sounds familiar, like that's one of the more topical things in the film. That dam is the kind of the final thing that saves the day. Shout out Zumba though. It began with Zumba.
yeah. Also too, when after Mabel helps the animals fix the dam the first time,
Yeah.
The Beaver King is his name. What's his name? Is
King-
it just Beaver King?
Beaver King, King George. It is King George.
King George.
Yeah,
Okay,
King George.
So King George wants to make Mabel the Paw of the King, which you did not get because you haven't seen Game of Thrones.
I'm not a truther.
Clear
Yeah.
hand of the king parallel for sure. Even like putting that because
so it also there's like a
hand
pin.
of the king. There's like a pin
The pin
that they get that they're
I'll
hand
do
of
it.
the king. So I was like
I'll do it.
like Paw of the King. I just kind of like just whispered to myself.
And
like,
for
Paw of the
Bobby
King.
Moynihan in
Yeah.
in the body of a very plump King George beaver, it doesn't get beef. But
Yeah, and I like he calls
Man.
attention to how like voluptuous he is too. A couple
he
times
said my oils.
that was
Let me
great.
rub
He's like my
oils
essential
on
oils,
you."
like on later on. That was funny. But there's also that the element. There's a big human element, obviously,
Mhm.
and the mayor who wants to build this highway and like destroy
Jerry,
all
dude.
like weed out all the animals and like destroy all the forests and stuff. He is just like it's very funny because he's so obviously like not even like so nakedly corrupt in every
Oh
way.
my god.
At the local news stations love him. The papers only do puff pieces on him, and yeah, basically everyone in the town is just like, yes, we're gonna reelect this mayor because he's like,
We
there's
love
no-
him.
We love
He
him
lives with
'cause
his
there's no-
mom. He
yeah,
makes
exactly.
pancakes for his mom.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sorry for killing your mom was a great moment.
Yeah,
No, he is exactly the caricature of any, like we were talking about on the way back, just any insert small American town type mayor, like someone who's just like, honestly, not the most evil person, but far too easily like corruptible and, just going to go build a pointless highway to save 4 minutes, like they say multiple times. Like, again, funny parts of the film. They're just kind of like, this dumb highway I want
I
to
think it's
build.
just
And
'cause,
that's
like-
why I don't care about like their animals. Like, why would I care about the animals?
yeah.
type-
He just does.
type
He just
shit.
wants to do stuff. I think that's he
Yes.
just wants to do stuff. But also, again, there's the element too of like how he's getting the animals to clear out is like he's doing the whole like fake tree thing.
Fake tree thing was kind of interesting.
Fake tree thing.
Yeah.
That reminded me of the fake, even up and down like Rainier, they've got the fake apartments that are like electrical like substations or whatever. That's kind of
yeah. To kind of like blend into
to
the
blend
neighborhood.
into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the fake trees that have speakers on them that like basically just blare a loud noise that only animals can hear.
Yeah.
What does that remind me of? What does that plot remind? That's like Kingsman.
Well,
Is that Kingsman?
Kingsman,
Like
because it explodes their heads.
Admitting a
Yeah.
noise or something, and
Well,
they have to like
also-
wear the earplugs. There's like other movies that do that too, but
if you watch this and you've made it this far and you're a fan of the cinematic DreamWorks masterpiece Over the Hedge, which I've pulled many parallels to this film. Like Over the Hedge is one of those movies that feels like this movie because it's kind of that like human animal both ends interaction thing. And obviously like it's just suburbia. That's more like suburbia, and it's like over the head. Like how are we gonna survive in this new world? But I feel like there's something in that freaking movie that has to do with sonar warfare.
I've never seen it, so I can't help you.
We're
on
gonna have
that.
to watch
Yeah,
Over the
I
Hedge.
can't help you.
But
on that.
anyways, I'll pass it back to you. I'm not gonna ask Jonas. Please do not look that up. It's gonna take too much time. But if you can verify it as a fellow lover of Over the Hedge, shout out the Over the Hedge truthers. Yeah, you're not one of them.
I'm not. I've never seen
You're
that
not
movie.
one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Man, sonar weaponry.
Sonar. Oh yeah, that's right. The whole plot. The plot to yeah, that's true.
But then how they reverse it when Dave Franco's King Titus character is kind of like, we're just gonna squish you. I like how like when the council arrives and they all talk about like, and we gotta talk a little bit about the council. That's an epic moment. But when they talk about killing humans, like you can't really say that in a kids movie or in a Pixar movie. So we're just gonna squish them, which is also kind of a gross thought though. Like when they said squish, I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, squish us? Squish is such a funny word.
Such a funny word to use when like insects are using it, like, and animals, like the other way around.
Yeah.
Damn, they do not like the council, which if you want to talk about the council a little bit.
No, that was very like kind of also just Game of Thrones-y. That's not as direct as Hand of the King, but it's very like, oh, there's kingdoms everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed that. And they all have little crowns.
Dude.
That was great. They all
Sam Richardson's character multiple times during the film was like, "Why'd they have the crowns? We never got the answers."
Yeah, he just makes the dumb, obvious jokes, which are fun.
Yeah,
which are the kind of the stupid jokes.
It works,
but they're fun.
Yeah, but I want to know. I want to know where the crowns came from.
Yeah, we never get an explanation about where the crowns came from, but they know how to make crowns out of anything. Like there's one point where the Beaver King loses his crown, and then they just make it out of a soup can
just by
which
biting
is cool.
it.
But there's like that council thing, and they're basically trying to figure out what to do with the human king, which is the mayor Jerry.
Yeah,
and,
we will squish the human king Jerry.
Mabel just makes a case that's so impassioned that like they need to like stop him from building this highway that they interpret it as we're gonna kill the mayor.
She's like low-key a revolutionary leader. She went from grassroots organizer to revolutionary.
She's a radical.
Leader. She's a radical. She's just a radical animal.
Yeah,
radical beaver.
And so the beaver king is King George is like, you shouldn't have done that. They take that shit way too seriously.
Yeah.
And then
seriously.
And then Meryl Streep, the insect queen, actually gets squished and is killed by Mabel.
I'm sorry. The audience had an audible reaction.
That was great.
That was shock. Like there was again another movie I've seen this week, and I will not spoil it, but Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie has a moment in the final third that I know that you've talked about. I know our friend Lark has talked about, a hooping and hollering moment where the moment is so shocking that the entire theater is in stitches. And I wouldn't have expected Hoppers to kind of give a similar feeling to like a moment like in that film. So fucking 2 thumbs up, man. It's impressive to do in a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really was not expecting that just for someone to get killed off like that.
Sorry for killing your mom
so abruptly. But then that angers our eventual King Titus, who's a caterpillar at this point.
Yeah.
That was funny.
And then when
he gets all mad and like really upset, and then he starts shedding. He's like, watch me as I pubate or something like that.
That was gross.
Great. That was crazy. And like that was gross.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
King Geese was not messing with that.
It's really just kind of there are moments of this. They're just working a mile a minute. This thing is going into overdrive. The comedy and like the shock value, and that's one sequence where it really just first you got a council, then you got a queen, and then she gets smashed, and then the caterpillar is sheds and is like, I'm gonna rule over all of you.
When there's something about the insects being so like tiny too, but like loud spoken, everyone's like letting them like kind of lead. That's also kind of an interesting like dichotomy for the film too, especially when he's like, watch me molt in front of you 4 or 5 different times.
Yeah,
it's nasty work for a caterpillar to do that in front of other animals.
Yeah,
not a fan. Not a fan. As a human, not a fan.
No. Let's talk about the music a little bit.
Let's talk about the music.
Mark Mothersbaugh, I know, did the score, and I'm not gonna say that I like completely was like super like, oh yeah, that's Mark Mothersbaugh. But honestly, I was thinking about Thor Ragnarok. There's a lot of like 80s retro.
So they were
Mark Mothersbaugh kind of does that type of score, and he's in the Disney payroll. So I was thinking like that could be him, but like maybe like the synth type of stuff. I was like, yeah, that sounds like Mark Mothersbaugh. But yeah, I honestly thought the music was pretty good.
Effective needle drops. We already talked about those.
There's pretty good needle drops. Again, I don't remember the songs off the top of my head, but they were fun. They were good. They were good in the moment. Yeah.
I mean, shout out that again, a movie where
there's a SZA song as well.
Shout out SZA. SZA. The only thing that really, the 2 things that got me most hyped about this film, without knowing much about the plot, was really just SZA pulling up to the red carpet for this event, and then that damn lizard, dude. Can we give 2 hurrahs to the lizard? They did not fumble the lizard. The lizard was used sparingly. The lizard was hilarious, and it was the perfect character to have in the middle of all their marketing, which I'm a fan of. A little bit of film payoff like that, just lizard. That speaks to a bit of that brain rot humor that was like so like foundational to the movie.
Wait, the lizard? I'm trying to remember.
Lizard,
Wait,
dude.
which one was
Gecko? is Gecko, the little green lizard.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's
I
like
really
in
didn't see
everything.
I really didn't see a lot of the marketing. I'll be
Okay,
honest
yeah.
with
So
you.
I saw more marketing than I did trailers for this film.
Yeah, I kind of just
like
was
5
looking more at
seconds.
the letterbox like word of mouth and like what was going on. Yeah, I didn't really see a whole ton of
Substantial
trailers.
brain rot.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole ton of trailers for this.
But I was a big fan of the lizard. I got to shout out the lizard dude. But I think all the secondary and tertiary like animal characters are well voiced if it's by someone famous like Meryl Streep or just someone who's just a voice actor in the industry. Just one of those movies where it was like just so solid. It's like very polished film. I don't think there's very many like missteps that were not planned. Like I'm not even gonna say like the missteps were planned, but just things that didn't hit for us. Like we're talking about like that 1 out of 5 that we're missing from this film, right? That like 20 to 25% of the film that's like not, it's more for the kids or it's more just like classic Pixar that didn't make me feel alive. There are moments in this movie where I feel pretty awake and I'm like very engaged with what's going on. Again, especially for the last 20 minutes. Dave Franco's like robot body at the very end of this movie is freaky as hell. It's gonna scare some kids.
That's the whole thing is that they figure out how to reverse, the
Insane.
people at the university who are like making the human, the robot beaver animal suits. And they somehow threaten the animals, like threaten and coerce the humans
within like probably 2 hours
to making human suits. That's the thing. It's like so quick. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, we're still gonna build the highway tomorrow. The funny thing is, this all happens in one night. They can build all these suits.
The course of the 2 nights, like it's 48 hours of madness. Is this movie? It's just 2 days.
Yeah,
maybe in total.
And I think that makes that even more. That makes it even funnier. That now that I think about it, that all this stuff is supposed to happen in 2 days.
And isn't that wasn't that the deadline that the mayor also put at the very beginning on Mabel, for her like faux signature?
Yeah, 48 hours. It was 48 hours to get a petition.
We see you.
Yeah,
we see
48
you.
48 hours to get a petition
you, Daniel
to
Chong.
stop the highway.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, but
Big
yeah,
time.
it's just that's just another unhinged element of this movie where. Yeah.
Well, and then that's not even the real end too. When they finally take out Titus's body. I mean, you gotta leave one hurrah for the animals for saving the humans. I mean, I guess that part was also very Pixar-y, but I really loved leaving room for the bomb and torpedo missile, apex predator, great white shark.
Oh yeah, geez,
which was one of the best moments
of the movie. We totally skipped over these seagulls airlifting a great white shark out of the water.
That is so inventive, man.
So that it can attack Jerry in his car as he's going to his rally.
I'll say it,
insane.
Jerry deserved a little bit of that action from the great white shark. I low-key thought they were just gonna bomb him, like with the great white shark. Like, holy crap, insane.
Yeah. The shark was like, hey, this is gonna happen. That was Vanessa Bayer plays.
That was Vanessa Bayer.
Plays the great white. Plays the shark.
I'd advise that you leave the vehicle immediately, Beaver.
Yeah.
So play that real nice.
Yeah, and then also too in that same scene, I think one thing we haven't talked about, the element that I really liked was, first of all, the animation on the animals is different. Like if you can understand them, they have like human eyes. They have different.
Very expressive.
They have very expressive. They have different hair, so that it's very clear that like as a shorthand, as a visual shorthand, that like they're speaking English.
Yeah.
But then when their eyes are just little black dots, then it's just like they're speaking beaver and you can't understand them, or like
so cute, man.
When you're in a human perspective, they're just speaking beaver. But then when you put the earpiece on that does the translation that the university scientists came up with, then like then all the animals and the humans can understand each other. I thought that was a good like just little device, the literal device, like literal AirPod that they gave to the mayor.
Yeah.
So that all of a sudden that he could understand what was going on. And also,
his design's great too when he takes over the hopper body. The
hopper body with the hair, like, and then he's got the tie. Yep. But like, even then, just to throw him back to that great white shark scene, that car like tumbles down a hill, and the great white shark like falls into the water. That's whatever. It's like, that was stupid of you, Beaver. But then he somehow is not injured. The mayor is not injured.
I leaned over to you, and this is the type of crash
man is
that used to pop up on like TMZ in like 2010, and there was like 14 dead. Like 13 Camaro buildup on I-5 South, like that type. The car was in pieces. He walked out of there like the scariest thing in that moment was not that car blowing up. It was the geese above him ready to dive bomb him.
Yeah,
which is also crazy. That chase scene where all of the insects and the animals that are not the mammals are all against our main protagonist is kind of freaky because like the snakes are coming out of, like, they've got full command over the armies of Earth that are not human.
Yeah, of armies of the natural world.
It felt very Lord of the Rings, like.
Yeah, that's true, and it comes like really
in that
quick
moment
too. It's like all of a sudden, like all these animals just start raiding the truck, and they capture all of them. They tie them up. It's like it's a super coordinated
coerce
effort.
them to create a giant leap in human technology in like two friggin' hours. I do have to say, the scientists, on a note on the scientists real quick, I like the scientists. I don't think they're bad in this film. I think that is the perfect example of something that just didn't work for me so much. It just felt very Pixar, but they were necessary for the film. I appreciated. Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, they. I feel like for that, they needed some people to build.
Well, and was it just me that was feeling that at a certain point they were going to be like, Mabel, if you do not get out of this beaver's body, you will be a beaver forever. And they never address it.
That's
they
true.
kind of lightly insinuate that, but it drops off.
That's true.
The face of the earth.
I was wondering if that was going to be more of a plot point, and I'm glad they kind of didn't go that route.
Yeah,
that I was like, oh, like your brain.
But they were
is
teeing it up.
Yeah, that's true. They teed it up like, oh, your brain might be fried. Your brain might be rotted.
Yep.
Your brain rot.
Your brain rot.
But I'm glad that they didn't really make that a big deal. It's like they just let her just stay in the beaver for as long as she wanted.
Stay in that beaver. That's your beaver now.
Again, this is another piece of technology that they invent during the movie.
Yeah.
The mobile unit. They never taken that. They never
mobile unit
left
was insane.
That little hole in the ground at the university, and then all of a sudden they're like going side by side in a car chase with a great white shark with a mobile unit, and like, the main character's like unconscious body in the back of the truck.
Dude, yes.
They carried it out. How did they carry it out?
How did they carry it out?
They never
I need answers.
They never unplugged her.
Yeah.
They somehow found a way to get like
her body into
the car with the apparatus. And the pad.
A real Iron Man 1 moment in the back of the souped out vehicle with the MacGuffin. You know, the more that I think about it, Ant-Man.
The more I think that those scientists are kind of the MVPs, because how much the technological leaps they make in the 48 hours throughout the movie.
I'll give you another shout out. I'll give 2 things on this for the ball knowers. My NBA comp for the scientists, Andre Iguodala.
Okay, explain.
That's all I got.
Explain.
When I got the lasers pointed at Earth, who am I trusting with the 3-pointers? Andre Iguodala. Maybe too much of a D cup, but in the sense that Andre Iguodala, not one of the main 3 stars and one of the greatest NBA teams of all time. Also not super like in all the interviews, like outfit, people don't walk around with Iguodala jerseys.
He won finals MVP, right?
He won finals MVP, and you might have to give finals MVP to the scientists in the same vein. I think is where I was coming from. 2, the fact that they were the MVP of this movie silently, and then they got their funding cut. Super dirty, Oregon State University. I'm going to blame the state of Oregon for that one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Easy.
But then, weird thing.
Okay.
There's a whiteboard at the end of the movie with a talking dog collar.
I'm leaving
frame. And
it's crazy.
I think we both kind of looked at each other. We're like, up?
It's crazy.
Is it the first Pixar cinematic universe directly explicit reference?
It has to be.
We were just like, wait a second. Talking dog collar? Like, that was the most MCU moment I've ever experienced in a Pixar movie.
It has to be, right? Yeah. Looks of shock. This is not a very long movie. It's a perfect, like, hour 47. It's kind of padded out at the end. The credits are very long.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, what? Like, it almost feels like you threw it in there because you're Pixar, like a Marvel would, because they're Marvel. Very un-Pixar, but I didn't hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was
Make
interesting.
It happen.
It was interesting.
Pixar Endgame would make a ridiculous amount of money, and may make Pixar make or break Pixar. So I don't know what they're trying to insinuate with that. Do you think they're trying to tease something up, or they're just like, this is fun, guys?
Like, you
remember that movie?
Is Mabel the grandmother of Russell or something?
Bro,
like that?
Okay. Oh my god. I know the Pixar theories are going crazy on YouTube right now, where you're watching this episode of Pinoys versus the World.
Okay.
Sleeper Agent just came out, plugging the pod on the pod. No, I just feel like it's a very YouTube theory type thing. Maybe there are going to be some Hopper theories out there.
Maybe. I bet you there will be. But that's the thing, is that it is a moment that invites
It invites
thought.
An Eric Voss.
Yes.
And a new rock star to emerge.
New rock stars.
It invites, welcome to New Rock Stars, like type of video to be like, how does this connect to the main continuity of the Pixar cinematic universe? Anyways, it's you can see what it's warranting between us. It's a crazy little moment. Liked it though. It was a little tongue in cheek though, where it's like, obviously it's probably nothing. Yeah. But if it was something,
yeah,
makes sense.
That's true.
It has a little bit too much to do with the main plot.
They kind of left it a little open. It's like they could never do anything with that again, or if they really wanted to surprise us, they could. Dude. They could pull that thread whenever they wanted to. So they they really just put us all in a bind right there.
They put us all in a bind, for real.
They made it felt like they made that. Well, they made the whole movie for like internet comedy, internet
Yeah,
brain rot
yeah.
type people. That is a very like internet moment, like
Yeah.
where like people on YouTube are gonna like talk about that or like
Yeah.
overanalyze,
And then it'll help it a little bit of hype. We're talking about it
Yeah.
right now.
yeah, exactly,
Tap in.
exactly. It's working.
It's
We're talking
working,
about it,
guys.
We're talking about it right now, but
Oh.
yeah, I'd say in general, I mean, the beginning and the end of this movie where it's like, okay, like, Mabel meets, the grandma, they bond over the lake and the environment and the animals and, her dying, like, and then them having to save this place and like kind of her memory. By the like beginning and the end, like I kind of was like, okay, like I see where this is going.
Yeah, warranted
it's very easy. Yeah, it's like you can see where it's going the whole way, but if this is like, if a normal movie is like a straight line, the train's going on like one track, this thing is just wildly like swerving all over the place. It starts straight, it wildly swerves all over the place, maybe almost goes into the water, and then by the end, it comes back and it gets you to that ending that you thought you were going to get at the beginning.
And that ending being such an important place in Mabel's heart for her grandmother in memory, R.I.P. grandma, shout out her. She was super supportive. And also, even it burning down at the very end was kind of a good analogy for that place and kind of accepting new realities, but also rebirth. Because like environmental, when it burned down, I was like, okay, the city won't recover, but it's like kind of part of like the environment for it to burn and regrow. So that was a little sweet. I was like, it really got me at the end when King George was sitting there with her at the very end. I was like, oh, wow, that was beautiful. And I was not expecting that when we get introduced to King George doing Zumba. I think that's like to the credit of the biggest strength that this film has is that I think it understands its audience and it's really good at providing us a story that maybe we didn't know we were looking for, Well,
also,
I appreciate it.
Well, also too that most of the movie when she's in the beaver body, they can talk to each other. Yeah. But then once she loses access to the beaver body, they just like look at each other. Yeah. Which is great. It's like, even at the end of the movie, they're just sitting like they're just kind of like telepathic at that point. Yeah. They're like, we can't understand each other, but we're like, we understand each other, We can't understand each other literally, but emotionally we understand.
Throw a little bit of emojis.
Which I love that. Yeah, and some emojis. That was funny when they're just tapping the phone. They're not quite sure what's going on.
That was a good animal subplot.
Also, yeah, just the symbolism of like the rock and like basically everything that's happening around the rock. Because it's like the whole movie takes place around that rock.
Yeah, it does.
You see the lake when it's like pristine, and then you see when it's like empty, and then you see when the forest has been burned up with the wildfires, and then when it comes back and it's like the community and whatever, and they unite to like plant and they make it like a wildlife reserve. Like all this stuff, it was like that's the premise, the whole like point of the movie is like protect this place.
Protect this place.
And it's kind of like I kind of interpret it as like protect the rock.
Protect the rock.
Protect the area around the rock.
Yeah. Care a little bit more. I mean, it's like, if anything, the biggest human analogy. And I mean, I think, again, strength of the film, it can be used for both animals and humans, but specifically us just like being together and like in caring for each other in ways that, you're not, and like the kids need that message. It feeds that, I think, in a good way for young folks. But again, like for all of us that are hopefully a bit more literate just in our older age, media literate, like you can pick up on the analogies they're trying to make, and they're good. They're good analogies. They're really solid. I didn't even really pick up on the whole stuff with the rock, honestly, but that was always there. The rock remained even after the burn. The rock was not going to melt away when everything burned over. Just the concrete, which I thought was crazy. That fire wreaked devastation on that damn freeway.
I was like, damn,
good excuse to knock it down.
Like it destroyed the freeway. And you pointed out that the freeway is just a giant circle.
Just a circle.
And then, which is great.
Save 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's true, because it's so stupid. And yeah, he's like, we're gonna save 4 minutes on your commute. And it's like, it's just like just building it just because. And that's kind of commentary on just, I think, like just humans and like cities building things just because, not because you need them, but just because you can.
Because.
Yeah.
And again, like it seems like most of this place is like not real Beaver. I mean, it's a little bit like real Beaverton, but a little bit of Portland and a little bit of urban sprawl. And it's just like an American city wrapped in a freeway. It's perfect. I would love that. I would love a Funko of that. Before you die, Funko, in the next year, make a Funko of that. You hear about this? RP Funko.
Oh,
maybe.
I didn't hear about that.
Most likely. But before, let's get that Funko.
Okay, well, there you go.
Let's get that Funko. But I guess last thoughts. We already gave the rating 4 out of 5 for both of us.
Rating. I mean, I'd say definitely go see it. I think whether you're gonna watch it with yourself, someone else, your family. I think it's worth it. I mean, if you're seeing a lot of Pixar movies, you'll definitely like enjoy this one, I think. you know, whether it's in your top 5 or 10, I mean, that's kind of up to you. But I think you'll definitely enjoy it. I think I mean, certainly just hearing us talk for a little bit, we definitely enjoyed it. What do you think? I
mean, big recommend. Like we said at the very top, I think the families can love it. You go out with your homies and your friends. I think they could love it too. Really, it's an all ages heavy hitter from Pixar. I'm very excited to see how this does at the box office. I hope people support it. So I would say go out and watch it for sure. And maybe go in with a bit of a blank head about the story and the background, and try not to consume very many trailers. I think it is best enjoyed when you're not aware of kind of any of the premise of the film. And it's kind of I know they've made it very difficult to kind of avoid like knowing that you're like, it's like an animal hoppy movie and stuff. But even then, you've heard everything we've talked about. There's so much more underneath the base layer that a Pixar movie like this in the past, like I was thinking of some comp of this film to DreamWorks and the humor of DreamWorks that really worked for us growing up. And I think that it's almost like come back around. We're like, sure, DreamWorks is still making movies that kind of have that kind of humor and more like an older young adult in mind when they're putting out their movies. That Pixar is kind of feeling like they're catching up to that. I didn't watch Elio. I hate to say it. I don't think I've watched very many of the recent original films, but I'm happy we saw this one. And it really came through. So yeah, hard recommend. 4 out of 5 from both of us. Go check it out. Please keep doing it, Pixar. I hope Toy Story 5 is good. If that's not good, I'll be sad.
That's true. That's the next
I think
one.
I'll just be sad.
Yeah. But, you know, like you said, like before we watched the movie, there's a lot of stuff coming out. So hopefully
this is the beginning of a blitz for us.
For the next, probably the rest of the year, honestly. So hopefully,
big year for the pod.
Hopefully we'll stay on the schedule a little bit, and you'll see
Oscars coming up.
Yeah, you'll be seeing some more for us. Yeah, Oscars are coming up in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be seeing some hopefully pre and post.
You took the words out of my mouth.
We will see. But yeah, a lot of stuff on the horizon. Hoppers was the first thing we kind of wanted to get back into it. So glad we did that. Glad we saw it.
Glad we did it. Let's do it. More movies to come this year.
Movies to come.
Outro time?
And I think it is outro time. I'll do it. It's just Jonas, right?
Just Jonas.
It's just Jonas. It always is. It's edited, executive produced, and logo by Jonas Hyllseth.
If anyone who's complexly adjacent is watching, very good editor. Shout out Jonas. Shout out Jonas. Yeah, we're making these episodes a little shorter.
Shout out Jonas. That's true. Hopefully we
clocked 45 minutes.
We clocked this one in at a decent time, so that you don't have to edit as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that wraps up another episode of Pinoys versus the World. My name is Chris Angkico.
My name is Harald Hyllseth.
We'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.